Hey there, everyone. How are you doing? You having a good day so far? Glad to hear it. No worries, though. I'm about to make it way better. Because this is Moonlighter 2. Now, I know what you're asking yourself right now. Bliss, what kind of game even is this? Well, fear not, my wary gamer, for I'll teach you everything you need to know. Moonlighter 2 is actually a social experiment to see how many times you can get your player base to skip work and other important social events only to die, lose half the value of everything they worked so hard for, and start all over again before they admit themselves to the nearest psych ward. Now, before you go about looting and pillaging the homes of all the innocent forest creatures, there's a couple of things you're going to need to learn first. You'll need to learn how to roll around the ground like an off-brand Sonic looking for his next fentanyl trip. This will, in some cases, increase your chances of survival. In other cases, you'll send yourself barreling off a cliff, and while you're falling at terminal velocity, you'll more than likely ask yourself why you blindly follow the advice of some random guy on the internet. The second thing you'll need to learn is that the risk is always worth it. Some players will try to tell you that if you've broken every single bone in your body, perhaps charging headfirst into a room full of elite enemies is potentially a bad idea. These people are weak and you shouldn't listen to them or trust them. This is simply their pathetic excuse for propaganda. Now, during your drug induced frenzy to steal relics from ancient entities, you're going to quickly come to the conclusion that they don't want you there very much and they don't really appreciate your antics. And they will, in fact, attempt to curb stomp you all the way back to your local business. In order to overcome this obstacle, you're going to need to don one of the four legendary armaments that this game leaves at your disposal. I will now give a very brief and simple overview of all the weapon types. First up, the sword. Smack him real good, and then hit him with the Spinjitzu special. Secondly, we have the heavy sword. Soldier, it is your heavenly mission to rend the flesh of the unholy from their putrid skin like the filth that they are. Sever them in two and show the world the divine light that is the heavy sword. This is your mission. Next we have the spear.
Sir, please put down the spear.
Lastly are the gauntlets. Now channel your inner Mike Tyson and beat whoever stands in your way into a fine mist. Now that you've picked whichever weapon suits you best, it's time to make sure that you look fashionable while you mercilessly slaughter the poor creatures of this land. The armor sets in Moonlighter 2 all come with different perks and abilities, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick so long as you look really cool in it. Remember, the main purpose of armor in the game is to remind these lowly creatures that you are superior to them in every possible way as you remove their heads from their bodies. Look at you now. I'm very proud of you. You've learned a lot, and it appears you've amassed quite the pile of treasure. It's now time for your final lesson. You're going to learn how to exploit the common man into forking up everything he's worth in exchange for some strange relic he has no real use for. Now listen closely. If your customers are happy when they see the prices of your wares in your store, you've already failed your mission. Instead, seeing the price of even the cheapest item in your store should send your customers into an immediate panic attack. You'll know you're doing it right when every single customer leaves the store with a cartoon frown on their face, and they go home to tell the rest of their family how much they wish they could burn your empire to the ground. I really wouldn't worry about them too much though. That's what the armed guards outside that we hired are for. You'll know that you've done it well when money loses all meaning to you and you start to pick up strange and nonsensical hobbies like Scientology. Now that you have all the money in the world, you'll probably start to come up with some strange ideas too. For example, I'm now going to depart on a journey to kill the first boss with nothing but a broom. Why am I doing this? You may ask yourself. I'm doing this to send a message. I taught you earlier that the whole point of this game is to teach these lowly creatures that you are superior to them, and beating them to death with a dirty broom is the best way to do that. So the first thing you're likely to notice is that the broom does next to zero damage, and it also does not come with a special move like any other weapon, especially the spear would come with. But that doesn't matter because where we're going, we don't need damage or special moves. All that we're going to need for our journey is Columbia's unique take on energy supplements and sheer willpower. Now, I won't lie to you, there is also a pretty solid chance that your peers are going to laugh at you when they find out what you're doing. For example, once you make it to the blacksmith, he will not even attempt to upgrade your broom and instead will tell you to come back with a real weapon next time. It's okay though, don't be mad at him. He just simply hasn't been enlightened with the truth yet. For he doesn't know that the broom is a real weapon, and we're about to show that to the whole world. If you want my completely honest opinion, though, about the broom, it's really not that bad. I mean, you have to play very patiently because the broom does do almost zero damage, and you don't have any special moves that you would be able to buff with the perks like you can your normal attack, but you do still have your normal attack that you can buff. But if you grew up doing Dark Souls and Elden Ring challenges like I did, beating this game with a broom really should not be overly difficult for you. I mean, I did the first boss my first try, and I'm even debating possibly going back and beating a more difficult boss with the broom. There's no real reason to do this, but I do think it'd be sort of funny, and that's reason enough for me. Also, now that we're getting a little later into the video, I figured there was one more thing that I wanted to bring up while you watch me cave in the skulls of these weak creatures with a broom. Um, if you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. And I would also very much appreciate it if you could give me a like and maybe even a subscribe. I have been trying really hard, even harder recently, to balance my upload schedule with my full-time job, and I really want to get at least one video out a week for you guys, and I'm going to try as hard as I can to do that. So far, I've been able to, so we'll see if I'm able to keep it up. But if you could like and subscribe, that would mean so much to me. Oh, and would you look at that? Through all my yapping, we've eventually managed to slay quite the mighty foe with nothing but a broom. I told you it wasn't that hard. Well, it would appear that we're officially at the point of the video where I'm just yapping to yap, so if you want to click off at this point, that's all it's going to be from here on out. And I also want to talk about my next or my last video. If you enjoyed this one, then I think you'll also enjoy my RimWorld video where I attempt to destroy the world by becoming a nuclear superpower. Also, to that one guy that commented, you know who you are. I really appreciate you calling me a beautiful YouTuber. That had me grinning ear to ear at work and really made my day. So big shout out to that guy. I'll try to put him up on screen. And also, I will be doing a part two to the RimWorld video right after this video is out. Should be out a week from now. Um, and to be honest, I wasn't the proudest about the RimWorld video. I was surprised that it blew up as much as it did. So I want to put a lot more work into the next one that I put out. Also, to that guy, once again, you know who you are. I'm going to name my main RimWorld pawn in that video after you to sort of honor you. So I hope you're happy with that. Keep feeding my ego by calling me a beautiful YouTuber, and I'll keep putting out great content for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and that's going to be it for today. Remember to have a great day and come back next time.